welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself on the show tonight is my mate Albert, and I'm legend, yes, the legend that is the bridge. Evening, boys. I say that loosely.
Definitely loosely. Evening, guys. How are you two?
Oh, brilliant. Good, seriously. Oh, can I say a huge good evening to you, Albert, and to your Oxford. And a big, huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Albert? You behaving yourself?
I'm fantastic, mate. I'm absolutely fantastic. Keep my nose clean at the moment. I've got plans to. I've got plans to change that soon, but I'm not getting into them. But there's definitely plans afoot. But at the moment, I'm nice and clean, mate. I'm not getting nothing to report.
Are you looking for a wingman? I'm available at a very reasonable rate.
Oh, I'll give you a shout, mate. I'll definitely give you a shout.
Oh, sure. I'm surprised your nose is clean. How are you bridging this fine Friday evening, mate?
Very good, pal. Really happy. So looking forward to this game against Dundee now. Because it'll be really good. Really good.
One of these games, Albert, it's 2 points and down the road, but we obviously not spoke to you, so we've had mixed messages since you were last on. Obviously, Europe, Morrible, which was a strange game, and then obviously Wednesday evening. Give us your thoughts, mate.
Well, the Euro one, self-explanatory. You just get beat with a better team, but we didn't really perform, did we? We just one of the games, and you just go to wipe your mouth and move on for that one, and just. Do you know what annoyed me really about that one? Out of everything, the inevitability of everybody just seems to accept it in the grunt on the night. It's like, no, that was annoying me. That really was annoying. They're a better team. They went 2-up. I thought that's it then, innit? I'm like, no, that's not it at all. Just you need to do something. Throw forward zone, attack, do something, but nothing. We just let it dribble out. So that's basically all I've really got to say about that game. The Motherwell game was one of the usual drudgy games that we get in Scottish football. We're all used to them now. We don't like them, but we get them. Time waste and the usual, all the things that make Scottish football negative and boring to watch. We've got plenty of it against the Motherwell game. We're in fault, mate. We've enough. The good thing about Motherwell, we're creating the chances. We're just not taking them, and that's the big problem. First off, pace. The pace was down, and we don't take chances. And if you don't take chances, everybody's talking about we're not playing well, blah blah blah. That's the main culprit. We're not taking our chances. Now everybody's starting to say it now. But it's simple as that, mate. There's no great secret to it all. If you create chances, you've got to take them. And we're just not taking enough of them, and that's our problem. That time we went to Dubai and come back, and we're all trying to figure out what went wrong. It's the same thing then. We stopped scoring. We're making chances, but missing sitters, absolute sitters at times. So the Motherwell game was the Motherwell game. At one point, I really did think I was glad to get away with a draw in the last 5 minutes of the game, because we just end up a shambles, a total shambles. I don't know what happened. People didn't know who they were playing. They were bumping into each other practically. But it ended up, it was a draw. It was a bad draw. It was a bad draw. It wasn't a good draw. It was a bad draw. 2 points dropped. And then you had the Livingston game. Sorry, mate.
Carry on, mate. Carry on.
The Livingston game last night was it last night? Aye.
Before. Aye.
The night before, Wednesday night. The Livingston game was the Livingston game. I mean, I sat and watched it, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't go to these games, these cup games. I've said before, I'm not getting anybody any money. I'm just not doing it. I actually got offered a free ticket as well. My big mate went to the wrestling, took his boys to the wrestling because he forgot the 2 dates clashed. But he says to me, "I've got that ticket. You want it?" Nah, no going. No way. I'm not doing it. But anyway, the first half we should have been 2-up. We missed. Big Bassey missed a sitter. That's a sitter. He should be burying that. I don't care if anybody's fullback or no fullback. You should be burying that. And when that happened, I was thinking to myself, here we go again, man, letting these people off the hook. And then Patterson get through. I thought he should have done better. I think he went with his right foot. I think he should have went with his left. But anyway, that's it. But their 2 chances were good chances. We really should have took one. I think the 2, but we really should have took one of them. And in the second half, we picked the pace up. And then, as we've said 100 times, thousands of times even on this show, if we play at the pace and the way we can. We're a team. We're a really, really good team. But if we do that walking football nonsense, man, we're crap. We're absolute crap. So as soon as we picked the pace up, started pressing them, you seen them, they were getting pulled all over the show. They couldn't do it. Wee Hadji comes on and does what Wee Hadji does. I mean, the guy's got a football brain. You can say what you want about him, Ox. I know you don't particularly like him, but he has got a football brain. There's no doubt about that.
I don't deny his talent, mate, yeah.
He's just not doing it enough for you.
Aye, that's what I find it frustrating with all that ability, mate. I think he should control games, yeah?
Oh, aye, definitely. I mean, he needs to start getting really involved in. Don't get me wrong, he always contributes. No, I mean, not always, but he does a large percent of the time contribute in a game. It's not that he plays brilliant for however long he's on, but he does make a difference in certain parts, in the wee pockets of the game, and that's what I'm looking for. In contrast to that, you get the boy Wright. I don't know. I heard criticism of the boy and all that, but I'm the same. I'm looking at this boy and going, "You're starting to flatter to deceive, son. You really need to start contributing in the game because you're doing absolutely enough. You're not creating nothing, and you're no scoring." And as far as I'm concerned, no for me. That boy's I'm starting to gaff that boy and going, "Look, son, you've got talent, you've got pace, you've got all the attributes there. You should be doing something now, son." But he's not doing anything. And the one that sickened me, it was sickened everybody else, is the one that threw both if big Golson. I mean, Golson drops it right on the mark, bang right on the mark. He can't get a ball any better to you. And he control it, and you're going, "That's crap, son," because you're too busy looking at the defender. Ignore the defender, concentrating the ball, take the ball down, go in the keeper and score. That's what's required there, son. But he didn't do it. He missed control. He didn't control it at all, and you're like, that's third division football, son. That's even amateur football. That's no professional football. You should be taking, with the talent you've got, you should be taking that ball quite easily and walking around that keeper quite easily. That's not a difficult chance. But there you go. And I'm starting to look at the boy and say to myself, "Look, son, you really need to start getting your act together here," because at the end of the day,
we played him out the wing, but we're not playing him out in the wing, are we? I think he's a winger.
But the trouble with that, Ox, is we're set up that 4-3-3. The two number 10s are always going to come in narrow, and that's to allow the two fullbacks to get up the park. I've said it before, Ox. I don't like this where fullbacks are the stars of the team. I just don't get it. I'm saying to myself, you've got good players, wingers there. Beale no play them as wingers. That's the shape Beale likes to play. That's the shape he sets the team up. So they've got to come in to let Barisic and Tavernier run into these spaces. But I'm with you. A winger's a winger. You got to you isolate the winger with fullback and just say attack. Just attack, son. That's your job, attack.
All right, thanks for the summary, mate. And your thoughts. Always good to hear Albert's thoughts, Bridgeman, isn't it?
Absolutely, marvellous. Right. Well said, Albert. Well said, pal.
What we'll do is we'll hear from our gaffer. We'll have a press conference, and then we'll get the lines open. Is that all right?
Excellent.
Sounds a great plan.
Let's hear from our gaffer, Stephen George Gerrard.
Stephen, the game's come thick and fast. Sum up the challenge this weekend.
Well, there's a big 3 points at stake. That's the main focus for us. Obviously, Dundee have come up after last season and just finding the feet in the league, if you like. But we understand it'll be a tough game. I think last time we went here, we dropped a couple of points. So we know every away game in this league can be a different challenge, a different type of challenge. So it's one we need to be ready for. But we go in feeling good about ourselves after reaching the semi-final in midweek.
Yeah, given that then, where do you feel your team's at? I don't know if you want to, in terms of comparing it to last season or just in terms of the standards you've set for this season.
Well, look, we're always striving to get better. Even last year when we were in good form, we were always still looking to tweak and improve. And we're always going to drive these players individually and collectively. We're not going to come off them. We've got a real good group who have settled down. You know, it was tough at the beginning of the season with people returning at different times, and we had some COVID issues, some injuries. But the squad's just settling down a little bit now. We're healthy after midweek's game. We've got no new injuries to report, so things are settling a little bit. And we're top of the league. We're in the last 4. The boys are doing okay, but I still feel we've got another level to go into, which is a real good place for me to be in.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Is it encouraging that you feel there's more to come and you're top and in the semi-final?
Yeah, of course. Listen, we always focus on ourselves and trying to be the best version of ourselves, but I think after a disrupted pre-season and start of the season, if you like, we didn't want to talk about excuses. It was all about just worrying about us and getting better and getting closer towards our level. I feel as if we're on our way to that. But the exciting thing for me is I think there's more goals to come from us, and I still think we can tighten up slightly on the back of the Motherwell game. I thought we defended really well in midweek. We never give any opportunities up, no corners, no shots on target. That's a good base and a good start. And if we do find them tweaks and that extra gear, we know we can go on a real strong run, and that's the aim for everyone.
The fans got a boost this midweek with the news that Glenn Kamara has signed his new deal. How important is Glenn to what you plan to build the next few seasons at Rangers?
Well, look, I've said it on many occasions. It's important at a club like Rangers, you try and keep your best players here for as long as possible. Now, we all understand how the club works, but Glenn's someone who fits into our style really, really well. He's evolved, he's improved, he's grew a lot since we took him from Dundee. He'd obviously had a real good schooling down at Arsenal and under Neil McCann at Dundee. So we knew we were plucking a player to suit our style, if you like. But Glenn's come in and worked ever so hard to improve his game. And I think it's got to a level now where people are really appreciating what type of player he is and what level he can perform at. Glenn makes our 11 stronger. He makes this squad stronger. So it's obviously very pleasing news for me. It's one we've been working in the background ever so hard. So credit to the club for getting that one over the line.
And on players that have maybe came to the fore a wee bit more this season, Yanis Hadji came on the other night, was absolutely brilliant. And although his season's been curtailed a little bit so far, every time he's played, he seems to be playing with a lot more authority. Is that something that you challenged him on in the summer, to kind of really take the mantle and take the lead a bit more and become a key player?
100%. Listen, we knew the talent we were buying, and we knew the potential that Yanis had. We knew there was areas of his game that could grow and improve. But one thing you're dealing with here is you're dealing with a player who's obsessed to get better, whether that be off the pitch, in the gymnasium. He's to the millimetre in terms of his nutrition and his diet and his professionalism. And he's someone that stays behind every single session trying to improve parts of his game. He's an absolute pleasure to work with. I think he's got a real good people around him, away from here as well, who are helping support him in the game, in terms of representation, in terms of his dad, which everyone knows about. And he's had a bit of a disrupted season. He took a whack on the first league game against Livingston, and he was in great form then. But he's looked after himself since he's been injured, and slowly he's got back to where we need him to be at, which is that creative tool in the final third. And we've been lacking that a little bit in certain games. So to see him come on and have such a quick impact bodes well for the up and coming games.
Hi, Stephen.
Hello.
I think you said last week that pending scan results, Ryan Kent was looking at 4 weeks. Is that confirmation of that?
I think it'll be there or thereabout, Raman. It's difficult to say whether it'll be 3.5 or 4.5. It'll depend on probably the final stages of the rehab, when he gets up to sprinting, when he gets up to going flat out kicking a ball. But we've been told it could be somewhere in between 3 to 4 weeks. So I think the earliest you see him is after international duty.
And Ryan Jack, how's he getting on?
Really good. So he's due back on the pitch any day now, and hopefully we'll get him back within a couple of weeks, back within the group, and then we can see him back playing. Ryan's desperate to come back. He's had a real frustrating time. We've been frustrated for him because he's such a key part of how we play and what we're trying to build here. So hopefully this time he can come back clean, ready, and help contribute towards the team.
Are you looking at after the international break for him, all being well then?
We're not going to put a date on Ryan Jack. I think he's been out too long and missed too many games for us to put a date on it. We don't want Ryan to feel as if he's letting us down. We don't want to let the fans down if we get that date wrong. So it's just going to be one where we'll be patient with him and we'll get him back when he's ready. That's the key thing, yeah.
And back to the Kamara deal. Obviously, in the last couple of years, Rangers have virtually eliminated accurate speculation about your transfer targets. Working in that environment, does that make you a lot more relaxed about those players who are coming to the end of their current deals with Rangers?
No, I think as the manager of this club, you have to respect where people are at. I'm not going to be a manager who forces people to do something that they're not ready to do. All we can do is, if we want to keep players, make them respectable offers, and hope that they're on the same page and they agree with that. I tend to leave Ross Wilson to do his job, and the players' representations. Once we agree that we want to extend the deal or we want to keep a player, I say to Ross, over to you, and Ross, does his magic. That's as simple as it is. I was always confident with Glenn Kamara because I feel this is the right place for Glenn. I still think Glenn can go again. I think there's more to come from Glenn. I think he's happy. He's been smiling around the place. He's in great form. The noises that were coming out of the stable, even though it was a patient one, Glenn has always made it clear that he's happy here. Rangers has been good for Glenn. Glenn's been good for Rangers. So it's a really strong relationship. But sometimes as a manager, you've just got to be patient and let it run its course. And that's what's happened here. But I had confidence we could get there in the end.
In terms of the Motherwell game, the ball was in play, in active play for only 39 minutes. Do you think that the referee and officials are doing enough to clamp down on some of the time wasting we've seen this season?
Well, look, I don't think you can just blame officials or point fingers in their direction. I think as a club, you have a decision at the beginning of the season. Do you want to use multi-ball or do you not want to use multi-ball? I think it's quite clear, and I'm sure you guys will be able to find out. At Rangers, we decide to use multi-ball because we're all paid to watch or play or provide entertainment for the supporters. So we want the ball on the pitch as much as possible. We don't want the ball to go out for corners or throw-ins. We actually want to play football. If other teams decide not to use multi-ball, or if managers decide to jump over the ball or waste time, that's on them. We don't waste time. We play football and we want the ball on the pitch as much as possible. We chose to use multi-ball.
Right,
why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that. We'll work our way back through that. I don't know if the multi-ball thing was the thing that caught your thoughts, Albert?
Aye, it was a hook, wasn't it? It was a big hook thrown out there to see if you'd bite. It's one of the ones, if he says the wrong things, which he didn't, but if he'd have said the wrong thing, it's front page views and more on it, splattered all over the place. Gerrard thinks that Rangers are getting cheated and all that, blah, blah, blah. You can see the headlines enough for them. But the answer it perfect about the multi-ball, that really wasn't the question, no, I mean, I want him to say things like, we've been saying basically, and I've been listening on the show, but time wasting. But the guy, I don't know about you, Ox, but we'll say that he's brilliant to listen to, but he's becoming an absolute master at batting these leading questions away, these hooks and all that. He's getting an absolute master at it now. And I love listening to him. I just love, because he's clever. He really is clever.
Yeah, when he leaves us, I'd put him in the number 10, but that's just a personal point of view. But I know, Bridge, that's something you're quite fond of, what you're saying there, yeah?
Absolutely, 100%. Look, I believe sincerely and strongly about the multi-ball. Some games at Ibrox I've noticed, and I'm going to make a complaint, a small complaint. Our ball boys need to be throwing the ball in, no matter who we're playing, throw it straight back to their players as quickly as possible so they've got no excuse for this. And if they kick the ball away, it's up to the officials to deal with it. But sometimes, the other night there against Livingston, the guys were going out to take a free kick or get the ball for a bye kick. Nobody throwing a ball to them, So the ball should come, the ball behind the goal should be ball in straight away to the opposition, particularly.
You've got to watch they're cute, these people, because you'll throw a ball and you'll put another one on the waste even more time.
They're doing that.
No, I'm just meaning is that when the ball goes out for a goal kick, the goalkeeper has to walk away. Wherever that ball goes, he goes and gets the same ball. I'm saying that our ball boys who are walking past the goal with balls in their hand, they should be throwing a ball in before he walks away there, so he has to walk past that ball.
Do you know what annoys me? Do you know what annoys me about the journalists, or so-called journalists? Usually, I'm using that term loosely. I'm using it loosely, Bridge. But
there was only one journalist there. I think the rest of them were fans media, mate.
Aye, well, it's the question regarding the time wasting. You're getting like, no, these people are writing up their columns. They're the ones that should be mentioning it. They're the ones that should be bringing this to everybody's attention and slaughtering it. If they bring it to attention, the officials will then go to that, start doing something. But if managers start saying anything about it, it's nothing. It's sour grapes. It's you try to say that they're doing it. It's just against your club. And all the rest of the crap. That's what Gerard says there is we want to play football. We've got a responsibility to entertain, play football and entertain the crowd. And that's right. We're not paying our hard-earned cash here to sit and watch this clown rolling about the ground. You're going to, what's this? Well, this is just nonsense. We've seen it. I've seen it. I'm in my 60s now and I've seen it for 50 years. Bridge was the same. He's probably seen it for 60 years. It's nothing ever changes. But these journalists and the sports writers don't say anything about it. Keep it all quiet. It's all part of it. That's why I get tell. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. It's cheating. Same as the defenders falling down when they don't get touched. You know what I mean? You feel a fingernail in your back. Oh, down you go. Automatically it's a free kick. Now it's become a tactic. Now the managers and the defenders are using that as a tactic. And then the time waste. That's always been a tactic.
It used to be the forwards, it's the defenders all better.
Aye, exactly.
Yeah,
see the forwards go down now. I mean, it's a 50-50 whether a forward's getting a foul now. But it's a guaranteed 100% if a defender goes down. Guaranteed 100%. You're sitting saying to yourself, this is back to front. This is nuts. The forwards get his back to goal. And this guy's facing him. This clown here, the guy actually turned. One time gets turned. Oh, panics. Better fall down. Oh, so you get a free kick. Help you out with your defending. You're sitting going, this is ridiculous. I mean, they two St Johnstone fullbacks when we played St Johnstone, they were actually diving in front of the Rangers player, what a rugby player, diving in front of them, and they're getting free kicks for it. And you're saying that's getting nothing to do with football. That's just people conning referees, and by the way, it's not just Scottish referees that fall for it; they all fall for it now. But they're trying to make it a non-contact sport, aren't they? So there you go.
I 100% agree with you, Albert. You know the game against Leon near the end when that boy used to play with them went down when nobody near him, absolutely nobody near him. He was down for obviously getting a free kick and got it. And I don't understand how he got it because the linesman was right there and the ref wasn't far away either. Yeah,
the Bridge. There's 3 games of football we've watched in the last as many days, right? Yeah. And I'll guarantee you can put the 3 games together, we've not seen a full 90 minutes of football.
Oh, no.
Actual ball in the park.
Yeah, far from it.
I can't believe it. Just shows you how bad our game is when clubs can decide if they're going to use multi-ball or no. It should be a consistent thread right through the game.
Of course it should.
Anyway,
remember the nets and all that was another thing. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
I knew that would get your heckles up, but then we moved back to. He gave us an update on the injuries with the 2 Ryans, basically. So mixed messages there, but good news about Ryan Jack. All better than the Bridge.
Me personally, mate, I don't think Jack will be back. I think he's done. I think he's gone. That's me personally. I mean, I've heard all this 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. He's getting closer, or blah, blah, blah. I mean, we've all experienced it with Rossiter or not. I mean, he was always 2 weeks away from coming back. You know what I mean? And then just didn't come back. But I fear for Ryan. I hope I'm 100% wrong. I really do, because I like the boy. But nah, this is going on too long now, mate. And nobody ever actually tells you what is the injury. What's the problem?
It's an operation in his calf, I believe, mate. It was his calf operation.
Was it? I thought it was his knee with that clown foot model stamped in his knee. Remember that? A Kipri or something. His name.
I'm from memory here, Albert. Don't quote me on it, but I think it was a calf injury. When you go, Bridge, you have thoughts, mate?
It was a calf injury, and in fact, he went for an operation for it, and they said a wee breakdown. I think twice a wee breakdown since he came back, and he said to rest it again. I like yourself, Albert. I hope. And like every other Rangers fan, I'm sure, I just hope that the Ryan Jack gets back onto the pitch again and do some light stuff on the pitch, into running and so on and so forth. Let's hope he can do all that. And I've said I don't expect to see him playing for Rangers probably before Christmas, and it might even be before past the sort of winter break. That's what I think might happen with him. And he might get training and so on and so forth in there to get him back up to some sort of pace in his game. But I just don't see him coming back. We need to be very gentle with him and let him come back at his own pace and see how we get on. Because he's not been in the windows for a while, so I don't know how to say this. We haven't, and so far as playing is concerned on the pitch, because he's not been around, he's no burden to us. So I think we need to get him back, and he'll be, as some folks say, like a new player if he can come back fit. Great news from the manager to say that he's in the position he's in, because a lot of folk, even the last couple of weeks, have thought that, like Ballbear said, he'll never come back. He's not going to make it, and that's the death knell there, isn't that, about his career? So I don't want to say that. I want to hear what the manager got to say. I want the manager to tell me, and he said it tonight. I'll take his word for it. Let's hope it happens. And good luck to young Ryan Kent. He's going to be out for another 4 weeks based on what he said there. So
always 6 weeks for a hammy bridge.
6 weeks. There we go. That's cool. We now know.
Oh, he's done a week, or it's roughly 6 weeks for a hamstring all the time, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Indeed.
It's funny all the things they can do, and they can't speed that one up, innit? Malbear, innit?
Aye, it's it really is a strange one. Have you ever had it? I mean, I've just strained. I've not actually done it the full damage. Just strained it slightly, and bloody painful.
I've never had a problem with hamstrings, never.
No, but it's always quick players, intelligent players, guys that turn it. You know what I mean? That's their problem.
I never had a problem with
what you try to say, Bridges? You need to unhook your cap to get any chance of getting a hamstring.
No, we had him turning the other night to get his bus pass, didn't we, Bridge?
Oh, aye.
Oh, that's right. Aye. I don't know. I helped that one.
It was the best turn since Calvin Bassey.
Oh, the best turn since Johan Cruyff.
Aye, well, hopefully, listen, Albert, I take your point on board, but if we see Ryan Jack in the training galleries training with the first team, that'll be the first sign that it's good news, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'd be really happy to see the boy back. I don't want the boy or anything like that to be finished or anything like that. Really, because he is one of the players, when you've got him fit and ready, he does make a difference. I mean, look, for the bench or on the park for the start, he does make a difference. No, I mean, on his game, he's a better player. He's good at what he does. But that sort of injury, which I really don't know what it is, as I said, but it seems to be that his game is all about getting about the park. So he can't wing it. No, I mean, it's just the way it is now. You can't wing it. You've got to be able to move about the park. And if you can't do that, it might be that the actual thing is not strong enough to stand up to professional football. Hope I'm wrong. Or as I say, I really do hope I'm wrong, but it's been going on a long time now, mate.
Yeah, that's about 7 months, I think. 6, 7 months since he played March, I think. Something like that, March.
I thought it was even longer than that, to be honest with you.
He scored that goal against Kilmarnock. I think it was March. I'll check it out, just for you.
Aye.
Only for you, nobody else, all right?
Cheers, mate.
That's the kind of guy I'm on. But aye, good to see him back, yeah. So, Gerard thinks we're showing a bit of form, Bridge, in some respects. He's admitted what Albert was saying, we need to score more goals. The forward scoring the last 3 goals is always a sign in the right direction. But we need to carry on and get goals, because that breeds confidence, Bridge.
Oh, yes. And it lifts every member of the team that lifts them, gets them happy. There's nothing better than a happy player, and that's the truth. And it lets them go and stroll a wee bit through the game, the confidence in their game, absolutely. We could have scored 5 or 6 the other night there for sure, maybe even more. But for some reason or other, we didn't do it. And we've been saying that about virtually every game we've played for a wee while. We should be scoring more goals. And there is a chance to go now. Go and do it. When we're playing Dundee, go up there and see what you can do. Don't be frightened. Just go and do it. And relax into the game and get it done. Back with the 3 points is what Bruno wants. Everyone.
It was
part of the problem with that is...
2 weeks before we won the league, Albert, against Dundee United. That was his last game, so that was near the end of February, yeah?
February, aye. February, so it's that. 8 months?
7 months, 8 months ago, yeah.
Aye. It's a long time, innit, to be out for a so-called a series injury, no like a cruciate or something like that, know what I mean? It's a broken leg or something. It seems a long time. We just never... I mean, everybody thought... I thought it was certainly... I thought it was only just an injury, a run-of-the-mill injury, you get them. And he'll be back maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks tops.
No, it was an operation he was going for. He was always going for a knock. We've been joined by Cal. Evening, Cal.
Oh, good evening, Ox.
How we doing, Mucker?
I'm doing all right. I've got a couple of wee points. First one, I went on the computer today to see what site we can get people in England can get a Rangers game. You can't get it in England.
No, you need to do it with the UK to get it through Rangers TV.
No, I went on to Dundee United Dundee website.
Yes. What did they say?
The same. It's under UEFA Rule 48. But the only thing that aside it tells you who's objected to it is England. So I would say basically Sky and who's the other mob? BT Sports. You know?
That's because it's also 3 o'clock kick. I forget that.
Right.
Next point, mate.
Next point. I'm getting a bit sick of hearing about Ryan Jack, to tell you the truth. It's worse than EastEnders, isn't it? You know, the other thing is he going to go out and loan for 6 months because he's not played for... That'll be nearly a year when it comes up, won't it? I mean, off and on, he's played 2 games and out, and then he was out all the time after the operation. You know what I mean? We're saying it with other people. Got to get them out and loan, they need football. What do you do with Ryan Jack?
If he's back training, mate, I'll be honest with you, I don't think you'll see him.
I don't think we'll see him again.
I think we will, but I think if he gets back in training, say in October sometime, time he gets up to speed and maybe plays some bounce game. If you're being serious, you're maybe at a push, maybe the Christmas games, because of the break, maybe the end of January. Bridgeman.
Aye. You know what I mean? The other thing is, I'm sick of hearing about...
Just bring Bridge in with that, Bridgeman.
Yeah, I think it's... I actually feel sad that you feel that way, Cal, because I think Ryan Jack has been a smashing player for Rangers. And
so do I.
Well, I'm saying that, and I think that the manager's reported that he's close to coming back in to be with the team. And yeah, it's probably going to be February before he actually plays football. But I don't think he's going to be loaned out. I doubt it very much.
I mean, he's not played football.
I'm saying that, I know. You can't play football when you're a bus calf. So he can't play football. He's starting to do it now. And,
aye.
It'll take
I think the point you're making, Carl, is that they've lent Katic out for the same reason.
Aye, it's the exact same reason. You know, if you're back...
The point you're trying to make.
That's the point.
No, me personally, I think if you don't see him before the winter break, you'll not see him again. I might be 100% wrong. I'm taking a stab in the dark here, but to my mind, it's going on too long now to be no serious enough to be concerned, really concerned now that he's not coming back. He's not even at training yet, so away he was, and then he's away again. So I'd be really, really concerned. Know what I mean? But I really do hope I'm right because I want the boy back. I want the boy back in the Rangers team. To be honest with you. Aye. Oh, definitely.
I mean, I would love to see him back, but I can't see it. You know, there's...
We'll see. We'll find out in a few weeks.
Other thing is, how's your... I keep hearing we're never out of second gear, we're not out of second gear. Now, if that's my motor, I'm going to get a new clutch with the gears, you know.
Your new clutch could be Ryan Jack.
No, I got a new one. I got a new clutch, no new motor. I can't afford anything like that, you know.
It's easier to get a new clutch than a motor. Don't try a new clutch just now. Don't try and get a new motor. It's quite difficult.
I couldn't afford a new motor, Ox.
No, Bridge will get the money if you need it for a new motor.
That's all right. But I heard you can second-hand motors are going well. Mine's is ancient, my motor. I'm nearly as old as it.
Well, Bridge just waits till the ashtrays are full and then gets rid of it. So you get Bridges.
I stop smoking.
Oxford will sort you out with his BMWs. He'll sort you out.
You know what they say about BMWs, don't they?
No.
I can't say it in telly.
Well, you're not on telly, but you still can't say it.
I'm on telly in my house.
You're not going to make a derogatory remark about BMW cars and everything.
No, just the drivers.
Oh, just the drivers. Okay.
Aye.
Okay.
So, what do you think of how we played on Wednesday? I thought we were quite good. Or Thursday. I'm losing track of days. We've been retired now, you know.
Wednesday.
Don't buy a paper.
Wednesday. We never got a second gear. Albert.
I'm sick of that.
I think we need a new clutch. No, there was the second half. They were good. First off, nah. The second half they got up to pace and started pinging the ball about. They looked really good. I've got to give them it. The boy, but that I mean, I've seen it all in the follow that Bob Bacuna played to Tav. I mean, if he's capable of doing that and he does more of that, you've got a player. We've got a player. But we'll see. Even there is somebody capable of getting that. So if he's up to pace and he starts playing pinging boys like that about and taking players on, good. I'm looking forward to seeing him. But second half, definitely, we should have scored more goals again. It's taking chances is our problem. That needs to be rectified. The trouble we've got with the taking chances, I was going to say to you, the trouble we've got with taking chances, I don't think enough players, forward players, and even some of the midfielders know how to make space in the box. You mean the Stonley statues in the box? You're going. Good players don't do that. They pull off. They make dummy runs. They send before they get the ball. And give the guy who's actually delivering the ball something to aim at. Especially the ones that get doped in low. The crosses are the crosses, you know what I mean? But the ones that get put in low, you need watch. The only one that really knows how to do it is Ruth. He knows how to do it. Alfie doesn't know how to do it, and neither does Ken or Wright. Aribo maybe. But Kamara, no, they don't know how to make space in the box, and you don't know how to make space in the box. You're hoping the ball is going to get by 2 or 3 defenders, and sometimes the goalkeeper as well, so you can tap it in. It's not the ideal way. You need to know how to do it, and they should know how to do it because all the great forwards I've been watching. We've all been watching the great forwards for years, and you can see the way Aguero does it and how Suarez and all the great ones, they're brilliant at it, absolutely brilliant at it. And you're going, how do they always score? Because they know how to do this. They just drop off the stop. I mean, I remember Aguero saying sometimes it's better just to stand still and let the defenders run away for you. And that's true, by the way. And I never actually thought it that way. Listen to him and then started watching it happen. And you're going,
I'll tell you this, Albert, but don't tell anybody else. Defenders aren't very clever.
Exactly. But the player that's actually coming into the positions should know that as well. The defenders are programmed to defend space. They're going to cut the cross at near post. They don't want it to come across. So you can use that to your advantage. Mm-hmm. Last week, that boy Tony done it. If you watch what he done, he looks to if he's going to cross it or knock it low and with his left foot, lets the defender go to block it as they normally do, and then just walks by the ball and knocks it round the back of the guy with his right foot. You're going, and the guy had a tap in. You're going, that's just brilliant. That's absolutely a football brain. That's just
okay. Bridgeman, then defenders have to gamble as well. And one of the things I would say is sometimes I don't think we got enough players in the box. And I'll go back to Carl. What's your thinking?
Yeah, you're right there. It's a time issue as far as I'm concerned with the defenders. They've got to make sure in their mind that they've got enough time to get back. Wherever they're, get in there and go for the ball and all the rest of it. Someone is telling me and saying, "No, leave it, just keep going with it." Because the time I get in there, usually screw it up. Goalkeeper will kick up and start return, and we'll have to struggle to get back. I think there's a wee bit of that in it, a wariness, But yes, you're right. They have to get in the box, and sometimes I've got two minds, and you sometimes see Balogun sticking back and Goldson goes forward, or vice versa. And that's what happens. Golson's very good, I must admit. He's very good at going forward, and he always finds a wee bit of space, and somehow or other the ball seems to get attracted to him. And that's great. I always know the greatest header in the world has scored a few goals, so that's off to him. But I think it's difficult for defenders. How many defenders side when it comes to this thing? Because invariably a defender goes in a right doing after the crowds if he gets stuck up the park. somebody breaks away. You've no chance.
I'm not talking about defenders. I'm talking about maybe when we get our forwards in the box, they've got to come in, and then we've got to get midfielders in the box. Cal?
I agree with you, Ox. I think there's no movement in our play. You know, they go in there and stand in a line as if they're waiting in a bus, and then move at the last minute, and half the time the cross doesn't come right, or first man clears it, or it's rubbish, you know. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I think we need a wee bit more invention in our play, and for throw-ins, by the way. You see them looking about when we're throwing it in, and there's nobody moving. There's nobody making anything that can drag a player away with them to give somebody else room to run into. I just find it at times very frustrating now watching Rangers. And I don't like that, you because I love the Gers, you know, but sometimes you go to it's the same old.
I think, listen, we could treat the performances, but I think we've got to watch we don't get too negative, Albert, because, well, look, a couple of turns in Europe, we know that, we understand that. But we are where we are in this journey, as we call it. Every step, and hopefully we're going to take more steps forward this season.
I mean, that's right. I mean, the negative, I try to tell you the negative, but with the positive spin on it and saying, look, there's a solution to all sorts of problems here. There's no way that you can sit there and go, that's the way it's going to be forever. It's not like that. You can solve them with a wee bit of craft, a wee bit of guile, a wee bit of thought getting put in there. I'm talking about the players, I'm not talking about the management team. Maybe the substitutions can become quicker, but apart from that, you're sitting going, the players, they've got the ability. To me, they just get too excited and they'll love the final third of the part. But I agree with you saying. The Europe one, well, we've won one game in 5, and that's not really good enough, is it? Come on, let's be honest about that one. That's not good enough. But that is what it is. We're in the group stages, so it's not a complete disaster. We're in the group stages, but we don't get our finger out in Europe. It could end up a disaster. So the next game is very, 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 very important for us.
We need to come away with something now.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
We're joined by Andrew from Crookston. Evening, Andrew.
Good evening. Good evening, Ox. Good evening, everyone.
How we doing,
Andrew?
Aye, brand new, guys, brand new. Just phoning basically to say that about what Gerard was saying in his interview. A couple of points that you've made that we've obviously still to hit top gear. And he's excited about that. Now, if we look at it, we're top of the league. We're 4 points clear of that lot over the road. We're in the quarterfinals, the first cup. Semi-finals. Sorry. We're only played one game against a very good team in the Europa League, and I think we're going to batter a team. I think we're going to really batter a team, and I think I'm going to put my neck on it. I think we're going to batter Dundee tomorrow, and we're going to kick on for there. I really do.
All right, I hope you're right. It's a springboard. Carl.
Yeah. Just a wee point about comments coming up in your wee whatever it's called at the side. Nobody's slagging the Gers. It's just we want to see better. And if Jim Rose doesn't like it, or Jason Bryans doesn't like it, hard luck. If you're not allowed to say anything negative about Rangers, it's not a really good calling. You know what I mean? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Aye.
Don't try and argue with the telly. You'll know one, mate.
I never do. Look, I can't even beat my coffee table anymore.
Albert, you want to come in on Andy's points, then Bridgeman?
It's what was your point? I can't remember what your point is.
Just basically, at the minute, we're all right. We're not playing the greatest of football, but
I remember that.
As Gerard said, that we're only going to get better. As I said, we're top of the league. We're 4 points ahead of our nearest rivals in the semi-final of the first cup. We've only played one game in Europe. And we get beat by a very good team. So things are okay, but we just need to play. We just need to, but in my eyes, get a right good batter in our team, and I think that will kick us on. That'll kick us on.
And
I think
I've got with that, Andy.
I think we'll get a right good result against Dundee tomorrow.
The trouble I've got with that, the battering carry on. I mean, that's the way that scum were talking last year. Oh, we're going to batter a team. We're going to do it. We're going to. I don't get down that road. You go out and do it, then you talk about it. We gave them a batter, but it's not. We're going to give you a batter. I don't like talking like that. To be honest with you, pal, it's no my cup of tea. What I like Rangers today is they're talking on the park, then talk about it after it. But as far as I'm saying, the playing well, we're not playing. But before we get down we're not playing well routine, but we're not playing rubbishly bad crap. This is dreadful. This is blah blah blah. But we know we could do a bit better. Of course we can, but you always can do a bit better. But at the end of the day, we're 1 point clear of the nearest team is in the league. No 4. We're 1 point ahead. I think it's Hibs we're ahead of. So let's forget about the scum. They don't count anymore. They're a busted flush. That lot. We're 1 point clear. We need to get a grip with the league and get further ahead. That's a fact. And if we keep that in mind, we've more chance of winning the league rather than concentrating what they're doing. Forget about them. They're gone. But we won't play good football and bad football from now to the end of the season. It's when I get concerned when everybody thinks of this mythical game of football is going to happen and this style of football that we're going to do in every game and batter teams all over the place. Well, no, it's not going to happen that way. You don't win leagues that way. And you certainly don't win leagues in Scotland that way because they're going to make it difficult. We are the big team again. We are the target on our back. The way the Glasgow Rangers should be. We should be the big team and these teams should be making it hard for us. I just don't like the way they make it hard for us, to be honest with you. But that's football, isn't it? You've got to accept it, whether you like it or whether you don't like it. But Rangers will play better. We will play better. There's no doubt about it, but not in every game. And I don't like people out there shouting about we shouldn't be doing this and we shouldn't be doing that. We should be able to do that. You should be able to criticise Rangers when they're playing bad or good, whatever. But at the end of the day, we will start playing better football. In some games, no playing better football in every game. And we need to accept that as supporters. I know I can be critical of Rangers, but I also like to praise Rangers, but I'm not getting false praise.
I must have missed that.
I hide it well, don't I?
Yeah, you hide it well. On your thumb, Bridge. On your thumb.
I think that somewhere along the line, we've got to be able to give our critique, and as long as you're not being abusive during the critique, then it's okay. People will accept it and should accept that. Rangers are no saints. I've been supporting Rangers since I was a young laddie, and I'm in my 70s now. So I think that I've seen good, I've seen them great, I've seen them brilliant, and I've seen them absolutely crap. And the same team being absolutely crap, you know. So these things happen, and we have to accept it, and the players have to accept it as well. And there's no menace in what we say, in my opinion. It's all come from the heart. We want Rangers to be better and better and better.
Yeah, I think you're quite right. We don't agree in everything. David, me and you, but we watch the same game and we see it differently, yeah?
Of course.
Aye. You know what I mean?
It's got to be that way, isn't it? It's got to be that way, to be honest. I mean, we all can't have the same opinion about it. There's nothing to talk about then.
No.
Aye. We might as well put on a tune and then just get him.
That's what she's found.
But Carl, sorry, Andy, I get the thing. You want a spark, a performance, goals breed confidence, you know. We got there and we get a nice 2-0 win, play reasonably well, maybe get a third goal, maybe we'll be pleased. But we know traditionally all these places are tough, mate.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we get a goal, we're good front runners. We get a goal. This team, that's what last year's taught us. But we ain't firing on all cylinders, and hopefully we keep going, keep a clean sheet, and score goals. Is all they're saying.
We're not, as you say, we're not firing all cylinders, and I have been saying since I've been phoning in, we haven't been. You know what I mean?
We played all right till you started phoning in, mate.
All right, it's last call.
Here's a vote of confidence on you, Andy.
I know.
If that was a report card, it would say must try harder.
All Skipper got that. He's honeymoon.
I would just what. Basically, I would just like to see a 90-minute performance for Rangers. I really would. I just like a 90-minute all out. Just what I mean. Just batter a team. And as I get what the panel was saying there. We did talking after the game and that, and that's very, very true. That's 100% true. But I really would like to see us coming out and play a 90-minute game rather than just one half.
I don't think you're alone with that, but I think if we went 3-0 up, we'd take the stink out again because we've got one coming up on Thursday.
That's true. That's a fair point.
But when they go for 4, 5, 6, even though as a support would like to be like that, I think that we would just not start knocking the ball. But Cal, well, we know we can play better, yeah?
Aye. All I want is a couple of solid performances, without getting nervy. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Just, it doesn't matter a bridge man all the time, but as long as you're playing a solid game, instead of waiting on a mistake after somebody. I know the mistakes is what the game's all about, or there'll be no goals in it half the time. And when it's on Rangers TV, I wish they would get a decent commentator that knows the difference between Glenn Kamara and the wee boy Wright. I mean, I'm half blind, and I can tell the difference. Especially when they're lying down, and you see a white leg out, it's no Glenn Kamara, and that's not being racist, by the way. I mean, you should get a commentator that knows the team.
You know what I mean? You're not a fan of Clive Tilsley? No.
Do you want to hear this, Ian? Wait a minute. I worked as a tailor. I was a tailor. Well, I'm a trained tailor. Hector Powell's outside in Gordon Street at the Central Station.
Yes.
So I went in for the factory to get a suit made up. And it was Sandy McLeish, our commentator. He was a front of shop guy. I'd seen him a few times.
I'll take your word for it, mate. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you're too young. So he says, are you going to the game tonight, Carl? I said, aye, I'm going to the game. I says, what about yourself? He says, I am working. He says, but I'll tell you, see that guy there? He's no kicking a ball tonight. And I looked at her. I says, how no? He says, I can't say his effing name. There you are. Good night.
Thank God. Here's Carl. Just as well. I did the jokes on here all better, innit?
Aye. We'll keep that to somebody who's those that are down here. Come on, behave. Aye. Carry on, mate. Carry on.
Oh dear. It was a bold effort, but a poor effort.
It was, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Aye, I'm putting that down as a 2 out of 10.
Aye, that's for putting his name on. He's getting the 2 for putting his name on the paper.
2 out of 10 for
correct.
A fans.
Well, he's getting 1 for putting it in the paper. He's getting 2. He's getting another 1 for spelling it right.
I love it.
Anyway. We're all wanting Rangers to play better. I mean, it's a given, isn't it? It really is a given. We're not trying to get to Rangers. We're not trying to say we're happy they're playing bad and we're glad we all can moan. But if you give false praise when it's no due, well, you're kidding yourself. You're delusional. That's what that mob is across the city. They're just delusional. They live in this bubble that I don't know. It's a fantasy land, and I don't want to live like that. I want to say what I say, see what I see. I'm not always right. I'm mostly always wrong, but there you go. That's just life, isn't it? But you've got to be able to critique your players and your team when they're playing. If you don't do it,
after a game or a general roundabout a game, mate, because you couldn't come on here and say, "Oh, we were outstanding for that 45 minutes." You wouldn't be telling the truth, would you?
No, I mean, I know we'd like to come on and say that, and if anybody else, I mean, we know other people, the haters listen in, but we don't care about that. I mean, that's just, listen, I know you want, you get the truth for us, we'll say the truth. I know sometimes it stings, sometimes people say things and it stings you and you go, oh, I don't like that comment, but most of the times it's true what the people are saying. No, I mean, you can't argue what they're saying, but false praise is no praise to me. You just don't do it. It's just, if you deserve praise, by all means, keep it on. Look, the achievements of last year, keep it on. They deserve all the praise they can get for that. But that's now put to bed. What Gerard was trying to make the point the other day there. That's put to bed now. Let's draw a line under that and go on with this season. Let's get going with business in hand. And eventually, we'll play some. As I say, we'll play some good games. We'll play some bad games. That's a season, isn't it? That's just what happens in a season, any season. But last year, records were broken. Records were set, broken, all that. They went unbeaten, blah blah. It's all there. It's all in history books. But that's what it is in the history books. Leave it there. But don't expect us to emulate what we done last year. That's a one-off season. I've said before, in our lifetime and in most of the Rangers supporters' lifetime, you'll never see that again. That's a unique thing to happen to your club. What happened last year? It doesn't. And if it did happen every year, just think how boring football would be if that happened every year.
Okay, mate. Okay. Aye, Andy. Aye. Listen, Gerrard's built a squad of players. Yeah, need tweaking, but been unlucky. Key players out with injury. We talked about Ryan Jack. You've got Michael Lander. There's been times when quite a lot of our players have been out injured, but that's part of the game. You just have to knuckle down and deal with it and go on with it.
Aye, absolutely. That's why it's imperative that Gerrard had built such a big squad, and that we've got options that can come in and fill in. So with the big squad, it's good for us and it's healthy. But we hopefully get these injuries and COVID and all that, all the pardon me, all the COVID issues and all that. I know that's probably all out the way anyway, I don't know, but the injuries in that back, and you're never ever going to be injury free all season for your full team.
No.
But it'd be good to get some more players back and the squad a bit bigger.
I will see what it takes us. I think we need to look to sign a centre half in January. That would be my thinking.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I seriously think that all better because of where we are with Goldstein, where we are with Balogun's contract and age, Hollander, injuries and games he played, and then obviously that leaves you with Katic, who's out loan, so we don't know how he's going to bounce back. And then we've got Jack Simpson, who's still learning his trade. So we'll see. I think we could do with signing a centre half. I'm not talking about just another body, Albert. I'm talking about one that's pushing to play in the first team.
Aye, I think you're right, mate. I definitely think you're right there. I think if he leaves it too long, or if he doesn't do the winter break or the winter window, he could rue the opportunity. Definitely, because we need somebody we can rely on. And today him with the boy Simpson, but he's no covering his selling glory at the moment, and he's not instilling any confidence in us because he's a bit jittery or a bit lightweight.
Fox has mentioned Katic should come back. I still think that leaves us a bit short.
If Katic come back, the only reason you bring Katic back is if he walks into the team. That's the only. You can't bring him back and sit him on the bench because the reason he's away is to play football. So Gerrard's already said that he wouldn't be selfish enough to bring him back to sit him on the bench. Now, if you're bringing him back, you must have kept an eye on him over there saying he's ready to play first team football. So he comes into the team right away and is the pairing with Goldson and Balogun, Simpson are the backups to Katic then. I would agree with that. If you're bringing him back, he plays. That's why you're bringing him back. He plays most games. But if he's not ready to play most games, well, you leave him where he is.
I still think we're going to go and get one. I think that's one of the ones for recruitment. As I said, Balogun's contract's up in the summer. So's Goldson, as we've talked about the thing. How fit's Alexander going to be after a major injury? Then that leaves you with Katic and Simpson. We'll only be going forward with him. Now, they could turn out to be fine players. They've got a chance. We'll see where it takes them. At the moment, one's coming back for a real serious injury and one looks short of confidence and just learning his trade. But we'll see. Right, get yourselves a mute bridge. Everybody, we're going to have a tune.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though at times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Every Saturday we follow to cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. For Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, we followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though times they have been hard, we follow near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Every Saturday we follow to cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, we follow near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
What a tune, Bridgeman. Bridgeman? No, he's gone. Right, Albert, what a tune, huh?
Oh, I tell you, it's a hell of the back of your neck job, that one. Especially, see when we get it right and the crowd sing it, Ibrox, man, good grief, man, it's a song, innit? I think we overplay Ibrox at the moment. I would keep that back and visit very select times because it's a great tune. It's a great tune.
It's a real powerful one. Maybe it's a one in a generation tune, isn't it?
Definitely,
certainly
man.
becoming an anthem, isn't it, guys?
Right.
Becoming an anthem, Ibrox.
We'll be joined by Big Stevie. Evening, Big Stevie.
Good evening, lads. How are you?
Big
Okay.
Stevie for the drum.
Hi, Stevie. How you doing?
What's on your mind, big man?
How are you?
I'm good, pal. How are you?
Brand new. Every time I hear that song, I just think of me in the rain walking down the Copeland Road. Honestly, man, brilliant. Unbelievable song, man. Powerful. Magic. Every time I hear it, the hair's on. I'm going to talk about, you're talking about the boy Simpson, right? I'm no one for slaughtering the boy or anything like that, but he would even get in the back five of the flute band, you know. But the bottom line for me is he's needing more games. He's young, and he's still, you know, I mean, he's still young, guys. We need to he's not there every week. He's one game, he's out, and then he's back. He misses a 3, and then he comes back again. We need to give the boy a wee chance. We need to. But what I've seen so far, it doesn't look good for me with the boy. But I like to keep things in-house with him. No really luck.
No, but you know what he's needing, Stevie? Do you know what he's needing, Stevie? He needs Richard Goff to take him under his wing and train with Richard Goff for a while. That's what he needs. That's what he needs. He done it with Katic. He done it with Katic. And if he does it with that boy will come on a turn.
Can I tell you something? I'm thinking more down the lines of Terry Hurlock.
Terry Hurlock was 60. I think he was 60 the other day, by the way.
Oh, Terry. Oh, man, what a player. I bet you don't. I bet you couldn't tell you the difference in his face. I'll tell you that. 60 of when he was 30 years ago. You give him a hat and a cracking sword and a cracking King Bully, big Terry Hurlock back in the day. But that Terry has. I love watching him play. I love watching him. It was all blood and snot, wasn't it, man? It was right in there. I know how we talk about Rangers teams having teams beating the tunnel. I remember Tynecastle, he handed one of the Hearts players the menu for the Royal Infirmary of Edinburgh. He gets standing in the tunnel about to go out and he says, "Here, that's for you." And the boy looked at it, it was the menu for the hospital. That's for you, son. Unbelievable, man. You know, the fear of God when you talk about guys like that. But listen, the young boy Simpson, he's only learning, guys. He's not getting a lot of time on the park.
Was that the point that Southside made? Southside said that he would have played them on Wednesday night only to give him more game time because he didn't think it would have been the toughest of games. Was that a good point?
That is a good point. And by the way,
that's a year he's been on the show, and that's the first good point he's made. That's not bad.
I coming. Me saying it's a good point doesn't really count. But listen, well, we're on about Southside. I just want to thank him. The man got me a ticket, so I can't be too hasty with him, giving him a down. He got me a ticket for Dundee tomorrow, and I'm actually tying up with him to get there, so I take it there'll be extra Polish getting drafted in up there.
I have spoke to the treasurer, and we have put the bail money for the 2 years to one side.
Hey, always forward planning up.
Yeah, we're in it together, and I'll come and get you if I have to.
Aye, and I promise Rangers, I'm on my best behaviour. I won't be doing nothing towards Lee Griffiths tomorrow. I'll be sitting there like a minister. Trust me. Okay. But listen, guys, we need to be a wee bit gentle with Jack Simpson. Southside's maybe right. We should have played maybe the other night there. It's a kind of an easier game probably for him, you know. I mean, let's be honest, our keeper could have sat in the Stormways, you know. But anyway, thanks for having me again, boys.
Do you get my text? Do you get my text about the numbers, yeah?
The numbers? No, aye.
Right.
I seen something earlier on, but my phone contacted them. Jamba was at training. Right, listen, boys, you carry on. Great show. I'm enjoying the chat, and I'll see you later. I maybe give you a wee report on the game tomorrow on the way back. Okay.
All right.
Boys,
take it easy,
man. Okay. Thanks a lot, lads.
I'm going to go off as well, Locks. Cheers. Thanks very much for having me on again.
No bother, mate.
It's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure to go on. Cheers. Thanks very much, guys. Good night.
Cheers.
See you later, mate.
Good night, guys.
Aye, all right, too. Well, Andy, a lovely caller. Then we get Big Stevie, Big Gerard. Right, okay, that'll be a fine trip there too. You're not with Dundee.
Oh.
Listen, I quite fancied it myself.
Lashings of lemonade, I think.
Gushings.
Lemonade?
There might be lots of lemonade, but there might be other stuff in it.
Let's hope. Lundstrom, I want to say something about Lundstrom.
Yes, mate, you carry on. The floor's yours, Mulder.
I'll give him his due. He played a lot better against Livingston the other night. I'll give him his due. Jury's still out in the boy, but I'll give him his due. The reason, by the way, he played so deep, I was thinking about it when you were talking about it. I'm saying, why is he playing so deep? To me, he's playing deep so he's getting forward passes. If he plays further up, the square passes he's getting, and we're all criticising him for that. So I think he's went, I'm playing deeper, so any pass I get's got to be forward. You can't accuse me of playing it square or back the way. So he did play better. He never had a great influence in the game, but what he had today, he done, and he done quite proficiently. Let's call it that way. But he's not a Steve Davis, no. I mean, and I'm a great believer. Central midfielders in general, you can't invent them. You can't make them. They're just natural. That's what they do. They play in there, and they've got football brains. You can't do it all of a sudden turn like Tav or somebody into a midfield player. It just doesn't work, mate. It just doesn't work. And I think Lundstrom, to be fair to him again, by the way, I don't think he knows where he's to play half the time. Try to turn them into this and turn them into that. And you go, well, what did you buy him for? What was his position when he played the rest of his professional career? And whatever it was, that's where we should be playing him. I'm not sure where it was right enough, but whatever it was, that's where we should be playing him.
Well, wasn't he there, mate? Wasn't he a defensive?
No, it wasn't, mate. I don't think it was. But you're trying to turn them into this. He said it himself. I mean, one of his interviews, he said about Sheffield United, they wanted me further forward and as far away from the ball as possible. And then when he said that, I seen him playing. I mean, I can understand what they were talking about, keeping you away from the ball. But what he went on to explain what he was meaning. What he was meaning, he had to stay away from the ball so the centre halves could come up the park. That's the way that manager wanted him to play. So you're sitting going, well, there you are. He's got him right forward. We've got him right deep. And then sometimes we'll go to him on the right. And you're sitting saying, where's the guy to play? And I think we're confusing the guy, to be honest with you. And I don't think he's as good a talented player as he thinks he is. I think he's a proficient player. I think he gets away with the simple things and doing them well. But as far as, earth-shattering passes and shots, I don't think that's his game at all. I really don't think that's his game.
The earth-shattering passes, the touches, and the goal making, that's your Hadji's. We've not seen that for John Lundstrom yet, but hopefully he's going to kick on and get a bit of form and shows a bit more what he can do. What they say is you have to agree with that. What did you make of the Hadji spark on Wednesday night, mate?
It's just a football brain, mate. See what he does in 5 minutes. Players could play for the full 90 minutes and not even come close to what that boy done in 5 minutes. It's just that's the football brain I'm talking about. You've either got it or you've no got it. It's just as simple as that. You can't install that kind of brain into somebody. Are
you saying that all the intelligent players playing midfield? Is that what you're saying, Albert?
Near enough, mate. Did
you hear that, Rich? Did you hear that?
They call it an engine room for a reason. They call it the engine room for a reason, mate. And it's not just running. I mean, it makes
what was the point you're making there, Oxford?
No, but it's all right. We'll just leave it. So we go into Hadji, Albert. That I get you. He played for 5 minutes and he turned the whole game. Yeah. But I think you need 2 of the 5 minutes in the half to move your
you need more, God. I agree with you 100% there, mate. The 5 minutes is not enough. But the great late Davy Cooper was the exact same. He could just stroll about the park and then just for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, bang, goal. Just change a game, completely change a game. You know, what happened there? Davy decided to wake up and do something. That's just great players do that for some odd reason. But I agree with you. If he's going to get right into the middle of the engine, and that's what he's talking that he wants to do, well, you'll not get away with just turning up for 5 minutes of a game here, there and everywhere. It's you go to sleep for 5 minutes, but you go to stay awake for 85 minutes.
Let's hear for Yanis. Get yourself a mute. Let's hear for Yanis Hadji.
Obviously today there's speculation in the Romanian press that there's been interest from Roma. Do you take that seriously, or is it just part of the game?
Right now, I'm in a position where tomorrow there's a game. After 5 days, there's another game. I'm fully concentrated on Rangers. I don't think right now it's the moment to talk about transfers. The transfer window just ended, so there's no point in talking about transfers. I'm just focusing on my game, on Rangers. There's an international break soon, so that's where my head is.
In terms of your own performance, I thought the substitutes' performance the other night was transformative. How have you been working with the manager and the coaching staff? Have they been trying to bring out not just the best in you, but are they trying to perhaps change your game a little bit to suit the system?
Look, I think before I came here, they knew what type of player I am. Before I came here as well, I knew what type of team I'll be playing in. So it was just a simple way to adapt. Me as a player, them as a coaches, and just find the right position for me. And obviously, throughout the year and a half since I'm here, I think I grew a lot as a player, physically, technically. I can play different positions right now. I can play as an 8 as well, and I feel really comfortable there. So I think I added a lot in my game, and I still have a lot to add to my game, and that's where I'm still focusing on and still trying to figure different type of trainings and ways to get better with the coaching staff. And I think as long as I'm in a position where I can create on the pitch and do my job as a number 10, I feel really good. So,
Dennis, how challenging was the whole COVID experience?
It's been really tough, to be fair, mentally especially, because symptom-wise I didn't have a lot. So I was just sitting in my room waiting to get a negative test, waiting for the 14 days to pass by as fast as possible. And just seeing Rangers play every 3 days, seeing my teammates play, and different competitions as well. So it was really tough for me mentally to be away from what I love. And it's just good to be back on the pitch. It's good to be back with everyone here in Rangers. And I'm just looking forward to the games ahead of us.
When you came on the other night, you kind of certainly changed the game with the creative elements of the 2 goals. Is that something that you kind of like, you like you like to shoulder the responsibility if you're given that role of being the creative player in the team?
Yeah, obviously. I think that's my role since I know myself in football. It's a role I always like to have and create for the team. Not only assisting, but just the word create for the team. It's something that always been in my mind. So I think the coaching staff knows that as well, and the players that I play along, they know that as well. That I'm a number 10, and that's what I do, and that's my job in the pitch, and that's what I'm trying to do every single time I'm out there.
Giannis, you spoke there about being a number 10, but long term, do you see your future maybe more as a number 8?
Look, it depends on the team, the style of the team. One of our number 8s always is considered as a number 10 as well, because we play a lot with the ball. We have the freedom to push and go up in the box, as Joe Aribo plays, for example, right now. So it depends on the style of play. Obviously, I see myself playing in the middle of the pitch, because I think that's where I perform the best. That's where I can use all my qualities. And I think right now I'm in a really good position in a team where I'm allowed to play in the middle of the pitch, and allows me to create a lot for the team, and just gets the best out of me.
One of the things that I think is very noticeable about you is that you revel in front of a crowd. The question there about responsibility, it seems to drive you on that bit more, and I thought it was clear the other night. You came on, the situation was quite difficult, and you just immediately grabbed hold of the game. Yeah,
I always said it that I think football with fans, it's always better, especially personally. I feel like they make me a better player, and the pressure, it's bigger, and I enjoy it so much to have them at Ibrox every single night. And also the away games, I really enjoy them being away, even knowing that Rangers fans travel a lot with us. So it's a responsibility I always like to have, and it simply makes me a better player, and that's why I think I enjoy it that much.
Yeah, let's given what you just said there to David with regards to that mentality and playing in front of a crowd. Is this where Rangers need to prove this now? You're into the semi-finals of the League Cup, a big game against Hibs. You proved what you can do in the league, but this cup thing keeps coming back at Rangers. Is this when you have to go and prove that mentality and how much you relish playing in front of a crowd?
Yeah, I think it's simple as that. You have to prove because the last seasons we didn't have success in the cup games. So just go out there, win the trophy, and prove them that we're a team that we can have success on different competitions as well in the same season.
It's Dundee this weekend. What sort of challenge do you expect there?
It'll be tough. It's my first time away there, so I'm looking forward to see how that game goes. And I know it's every away game here in Scotland, it has its own difficulty. So we just need to win the game because, as you know, last home game in the league we didn't win. So obviously we're really hungry to win the 3 points now.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, what an articulate young man. Yeah. Albert, what's your thoughts on the fans media asking some of the questions, good or bad? Just your thoughts.
It's good. It's good that they're not trying to get at the club. They're asking football questions and stuff that's relative to the football and none of the snidey nonsense. I really enjoy it because I'm sick of loaded questions with some of these idiots used to use all the time, constantly trying to pick holes in the club. So it's just keeping to football. That's what the fans want to hear about is the football, the players, how we played. Asking them their thoughts on the game, thoughts on their positions, good stuff like that. That's what you're interested in. You're not interested in all the rest of the crap. So I'm a big thumbs up for the fan media asking the questions at which I really am. Enjoy it.
Good, mate. Good. Yanis Hadji playing inside. A good development that, but when we talk about this number 10, which was somebody behind the striker, we don't really play like that, Bridge.
No, I know we're sort of 3 straight in me, just be told. And look, I get mixed up myself sometimes. I start talking about number 10s and I think Ralphie Brand, you know. And he mentioned the number 8. Now, where in the more modern era does a number 8 play? You know,
the number 8 plays where Davis sort of plays, yeah.
So he's at the right half, basically. Do you know what I mean? It's just build inside right. Aye.
The number 10 plays up next to behind the striker, whereas the 9 and 10 used to be a pair, you know. But
that's correct, yeah. Aye, you're right, pal. You're right. So it's quite confusing. I'm breath of fresh air listening to that boy and listening to the questions that were aimed at him. A breath of fresh air. There are no more of these, shall we say, red banner papers, or what we call them. I can't remember what they're called, the red tops. No rubbish, and as Albert quite rightly said, there's nothing in the questions that could be hurtful in any way, shape or form, or snidey in any way, shape or form. They're straightforward football questions that fans want answered. Basically, the fans agree with the questions that are being asked. No, we do. We get the Record and the Sun or whoever else is there. They're not asking the right questions. They're asking the questions for the fans.
Oh, there's an interior motive to the questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
Aye, that's the thing. You hit that. That's spot on there. So you're right there. And we're sicky. We're just sicky. No, I mean, we can't. We can't take any more. We're not taking any more. We're just done with it. That's why we'll not buy the tabloids. That's why we're not interested in them anymore. And it doesn't matter how much they try to crawl back up our ring. We're not interested. Go away and die somewhere in the corner quietly, please, because we're all moving on. We're moving on to bigger and better things. We're done with you. We want to talk about our club. We want to talk about our club in a positive manner. We want to criticise them when they play bad. Not a problem. We're not a problem with that at all. But you praise them when they're playing well. Same with the players. And then you don't start throwing in stupid transfer crap. You know what I mean? Like they constantly do. Or he's leaving. He's arguing with somebody. All this nonsense that you're not really interested in that. I mean, I'm not interested. I don't know user, but I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in the football. That's all I want to hear about it.
It's not relevant to the 2nd of January, mate, to the window opens again. So there's nothing anybody can do about it anyway.
That's it. But just we, you know, and I know they're trying to unsettle players and try to cause risks within your squad and your team and in the dressing room. No, I mean that's what they're wanting, access to the dressing room. I mean, in the past they seem to have had it with certain players. We'll not name names because it's just accusing players that can't speak back. But there's definitely been in the past players in the dressing room feeding them nonsense. You know what I mean? And then them feeding them nonsense who are taking it back to the dressing room. So that's what they really don't like. They've not got any influence within inside the dressing room in their sanctum or Ibrox at the moment, and it really annoys them. It really does annoy them. But we don't. It doesn't annoy me, mate. I'm quite happy with what's happening now. See one of these sites, that Ibrox News, Ox. What do you know about that Ibrox News? Who writes that?
Clickbait. Don't even talk about it, put it, mate. Just
aye. I was just wondering, mate. I'm just sort that out.
I think it's written by the other side. Let's put it that way.
I wouldn't go that far. Football clickbait, innit? You know.
But there you go. We had you talking away there, by the way, and he's saying he wants to play in the middle. And I don't know if he's right or wrong, but that's what he's saying.
Is there?
No, there's nothing wrong with it at all. But the trouble is, we've had you plays in that 10 role that he was talking about, Ori. He plays better with Arfield in the team. And the reason he does, I mean, that's not a fluke. The reason he does is because Arfield breaks the line of the defenders. He tries to get in behind the defenders. So we had you get something to pass to. But see, look, Morelos is running out the box towards his own goal. And Ruth is trying to get in the back post or through to the front. There isn't, and Kent doesn't try to get in behind defenders as well to take a pass. It's always in front of defenders. That's why that number 10 is never going to be a successful role in its entirety, unless you start getting midfielders to break the line. You need to break the line, get through the line. I don't mind we Alfie coming out, but somebody needs to get in into the space he's creating, because he's taking a defender out with him. So we had you pick stay passes, but you've got somebody moving to pick the pass. If there's nobody moves, there's no pass to pick. Sorry, mate, ranting there, wasn't I?
No, for the first time, I may add, but there you go. It's always good to hear from you. But see the difference you've talked about Alfie coming out. The defenders aren't following him the same as they did last season, mate. They're staying in their shape.
Yeah, so there you are. So basically, we're taking our own player out the play. There's no affecting the game at all now.
You know, sometimes they are, but they're not coming out the way they were last season. If you think they were sticking to him, what?
Glue.
You know, super glue, Bridgeman, wouldn't they? And then all of a sudden there was a hole for maybe Kent to go into, but it's not there to the same degree. They're trying to pass them on and they're keeping in their shape. I don't know if you've noticed that, Bridge.
Yeah, when he was dragging people all over the pitch, running it to the wing and come back up to pick up the ball, even just to get the ball and pass it back to the person who passed it to him. It brought the possibly two defenders out with him. As Albert said, they ain't doing it anymore. They ain't. They're stuck there. They've created Scottish football. In my eyes, have created this system, whatever it is, that when they're playing Rangers, all they do is play it back. They just play it among their goalkeeper and their fullbacks, and they get a bit of possession, and it's just to waste time. That's all it is. And then before long, you're into the 2 banks of 5 in front of the goalkeeper. 2 banks of 5, and sometimes it's just a single line. And that's how serious it is. And somebody sees this. I don't know how they can't say anything about it. I'm talking about these newspaper coverage. Why can't the paper or the tellies turn in and say that's no right? That's dreadful football to play. But they give the opposition, the Rangers opposition, they give them the benefit of the doubt and say, well, the Rangers have got to break it down. Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes it's virtually impossible to break down. You're talking about 11 men inside the box, 11 defenders inside the box. Sometimes there's just no space. You just can't get it. No matter how good you are, it just isn't there. Anyway,
that's why it's important. See, like I said, it's important that Kent, Wright are able, and now Buchanan, what's his name? Bacuna, I'll get it right eventually. Sorry, I apologise to him because I can't get his name right. Bacuna, right? It's important that these players start driving at these defences. They need to drive at the defences, and especially if they're up near the area. Drive into the area. Make these people defend. Make these people tackle you in the area. No, I mean, that's what they need to start doing, committing these defenders. Defenders just standing and kicking the ball and heading the ball away without any great movement. It's not on. It's not on for us. We need to make these people defend because they're no good defenders. We're making them good defenders by no driving at them and by no picking passes, making space for ourselves in the box. That's why they're sitting. I mean, look at that clown Dundee United, that idiot who used to play with them, the scum. We made him look like Brazy, you know what I mean? You're sitting going, he's done, that big clown's done. But we made him look brilliant, standing heading, kicking balls away all day. You're getting it? Nah, you drive at that guy. You've got to drive at him. He's no pace. He's done. He's no hips either. He'll collapse in a heat. You'll need to twist and turn, and you'll see what happened to him. But we didn't. We just started pumping balls in, and he's standing heading, kicking balls out all day. That's all he done all day long. And then what did he say at the end of the game?
We never played with any pace, mate. There was no tempo.
Aye, exactly. And that driving at the defence is all part of that. I mean, that's all part of it. You've got to make it awkward and difficult for these defenders. But we're making it easy for them. But don't get me wrong, we've got the players there that can make it really difficult for these teams. Really difficult for these teams, and it will come. It will come. A bit more tweaking and a bit more confidence in certain players, like the boy Wright.
What's your impressions of Bacuna first time round?
I like what I've seen, mate. I don't know, a couple of wee touches that were just quite magnificent. You know what I mean? And the pass proved that he's got a football brain. He can see the pass and make the pass. He's got a football brain, and I like players with football brains. You know what I mean? It's a breath of fresh air at times. So I like what I see. Now, whether he's going to settle down and be the player he should be, because to all accounts, it's nothing to do with his ability. It's everything to do with attitude and application. So if they manage to get that right now.
Bridgeman, any thoughts on Bacuna?
I said last night, yeah. I think Bacuna's going to be a really good player for us. He's shown glimpses of some nice wee bits of trickery and so on and so forth. And just the thing that the Gall Bear was mentioning, when he got the ball, he wanted to go into the box and get in there and do the wee tricky things, possibly bring the penalty or whatever. And yeah, that's what I like to see. I like to see it. I'm always shouting at Ibrox, when they get in the box, no matter what happens, just get in the box. Because anything could happen when it's in the box.
Becomes more difficult to defend, Bridge, when you get into that line into the box. The defender's got to be a wee bit more cagey, you know?
Absolutely, pal. In every way, because they've got to be right on top of their game, and we know they're not always there. But what you do need to be able to control the ball. You need to be able to retain possession, to do something with it. Whether it's a cross, whether it's a chip, or whatever you want to do. But a lot of the times we get in the box and if we don't know what to do, we can't beat the man because he's just pushing you out a wee bit, and there's no direct capacity, and then you end up just losing the ball, a bad pass. But it's lovely when you get in there and you can push a ball past a player and into a dangerous area, just like what do you call him, Hadji done, nutmeg the boy in the box, and there was Rip putting in the net. Simple goal. In the box.
And shooting outside the box. I mean, you've got to see all the tools you've got for breaking these loaded blocks. I mean, you've got all sorts of tools. You've got that driving into the box. You've got close control players, which we've got. You've got wing players. You've got the fullbacks batting crosses, and when they're on their game, they're quality crosses that are going in there. And the only thing that we're really lacking is shooting for range. That's the only thing that I see that you could actually say, right, we need to start trying to get them better at doing that, because a lot of them just don't want to shoot. You're getting it, come on. I don't understand it myself. I really don't, because they're trying to look for the perfect shot, the perfect angle, you're going, no, it doesn't, football doesn't work like that. It's a moving target all the time. Nobody's standing still to let you have a shot. So hit the ball, because by the time you've hit the ball, whoever's in front of you's probably moved a couple of feet left, right, up, down, back, forward, whatever. He's moved, so hit the ball, it might deflect. You never know.
See, if you don't shoot, mate, teams can they can back off and let you, and then they'll come up and close you down at the right time. But if you do mix it up at all play, mate, you've given them an issue. Yeah, you give them an issue. All right, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, right, Paul Bear, you're Stevie G. You've got to pick a team tomorrow. Let's hear your team.
Well, it's going to be McGregor, Tav, Golson, Balogun. I think I'll bring Barisic back in. I think the midfield will be Kamara, Lundstrom, and Aribo. I think the forward line will be no Aribo. I think he'll play forward. Then he'll come back to that. I don't think Wright will play tomorrow. I think it'll be Morelos. No, I think it'll be Sakala. And it'll be the Roof and Aribo on the right. The right hand side, I think it'll be Hadji in the midfield.
All right, okay. I don't see Hadji playing there. I don't think away for him. But so you've got the steady back five, if you like, yeah. The tried and trusted, yeah. Nate Davis in your team, no?
Not at the moment, mate. I think the wee man needs a rest. I really do think he needs a rest because it's unusual to see Davis having 2 bad games in a trot. I mean, that's really unusual. So, as the big McAllister pointed out, the wee man's played some amount of football this season alone. No, I mean, he really has. With internationals and all the games for us. So, a wee rest might just do the wee man a power of good and come back on his game again. Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting the wee man saying he's completely rotten and right after you. He's not that bad. But he just looks if he needs a wee rest. Having said that, you watched that run he done the other day there against, was it Motherwell? I mean, he looked the fittest guy on the park. He ran about 60 yards. Nobody could catch him.
Aye, if he just made his pass right with 2-0 again, would have been done.
Goodness, that'd have been a great goal. Great goal. 60-yard run and put it away. Fabulous.
Aye, Bridge, have you thought about your team?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I would play with the same team as we played against Livingston. I would play with the same team. 100%. 100%. I think, but given the fact... Are you playing right? Are you starting with right? Sorry, I would start with right, 100%, yeah. I think that given Patterson may be injured, there's a good chance he could be a wee bit injured, then obviously Tab would step in. But no, I don't have any problems with that. I thought that team came away with a good result, and it was everybody get tore in and done the business.
I mean, I don't. Patterson's no fit, 100% fit, so I don't think he'll start. And I'm not sure
I don't think he had a particularly good game, mate. Did you?
After 20 minutes, mate, let's be honest about it, he was average. He started very well, and then he fell out the game, and his touch and everything was poor. He looks as if he's a bit shy of match fitness, as Bridge would say. You know, he's been out injured for a month, so we've got to be fair on the boy as well.
Mitigating circumstances, you know.
Aye.
Sorry, mate.
And Bassey went down with cramp, so...
I mean, see that one? I don't think he went down with cramp. So I was watching that. He got a kick in the back of the leg. I know they were treating him for cramp. He got a kick in the back of the leg, and I was like... And it was a sore one, by the way. You could see the big... Well, he doesn't... You know him. He's a brick shithouse. He doesn't... Oh, sorry, mate. He doesn't back away from it. And if he starts limping about, you know it's a sore one. I don't think it was cramp, but it definitely wasn't cramp. So I don't think you'll see him for that reason.
When they were pushing on his toes and that, it looked like cramp, you know.
I know, as I said that, they're treating it, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, he's a cult hero, big Bassey, isn't he?
Oh, definitely. He's everything you see. The look of him is everything you want in a Rangers player. I mean, big, strong, powerful. He's still to refine his game. I mean, I'm not saying he's a finished article. He's still to refine parts of his game, but and his enthusiasm, his big smile, and he's a joy to look at. The big boy. He's a joy to look at as a football player and as a human being. Man, he's excellent. He's absolutely excellent.
Did he show that he's got something? I mean, obviously you're right. He missed that swinger with his right foot. Never hit the target, but everything up to there, his run, his touch, his dummy, his swerve, and then he hits it with his right foot and
balloons it.
Aye, but did he show he's got something? Did you think he had that touch in him?
I'd seen him before when he was at Rangers. They were talking about he goes forward, and you can see the boy's got skill. There's no doubt he's got skill. He can take a player on. In fact, I'll tell you what he does better than Barisic. That's what he exactly does better than Barisic. Taking players on, he can, and it's not just hit the ball by and run by them. He has got a bit of skill. So he can dribble by people. players. It's not just hit and run all the time. I mean, I know that's what he's doing at the moment, but he can cut inside and he can drop the shooter. He's got a football brain, the boy. He really has. And I think they should have started encouraging the boy to do it more. And as I said, if he'd have scored that goal on against Livingston, that'd have brought him on a ton. That really would have brought that boy on a ton, because he's due a goal. He really is. I like the boy.
I think he'd have still been in the stadium shaking hands with everybody, mate. I think that's what.
Well, one thing for sure, he wouldn't have been in the stadium alone. Big Andy Firth was there keeping him company. He likes a party, doesn't he?
I agree with you all, Bertie, that I think Bassey is a really good player. He's coming on to a really good game. The way he played the other night there was not in the first half, because none of us were great in the first half, but in the second half he was really, really good. And yes, he's got that wee thing I think that Barisic is missing, or if Barisic has got it, he doesn't show it as much as Big Bassey. Bassey's no scared to take it right up to the guy and dribble past him, or dribble through him even. But he can also run to the dead ball line. I think people only, if you could call it a complaint, is not quite getting shall we say, the crosses in. A couple of crosses he put in there right there. I mean, I went out for a throw in the other side, nobody near it, you know. So if he gets the crosses right, it's not get me wrong, it's just over exuberance probably, you know, misjudgment of the pace of the ball. But no, he's a really good player. What a tremendous game he had. I had 5 players that were he couldn't split them with a Rizla paper. Seriously, they were that good. I thought so anyway. Second half performance excellent.
He's got the crossing in him, Bridge, because the Fairley game, he put some tremendous crosses in that night. He really did, man.
Sometimes these badgings are badgings, you know. There was 2 crosses right across. But by the way, a more experienced fullback on the other side, Tav, has done that a number of times as well. So we can't say too much about it. It's in him, you know. Yes, we're talking about football. Yes.
But we'll see what it takes us. I think, we'll see him. I don't know if he'll play. I don't know if he'll play on Saturday. I think we got some more match time under the belt. Bassey and Patterson. They'll be good for them. The midfield, interesting. I think Stevie Davis will come back, Albert, but I accept your rationale. I think we'll stick pretty much with the tried and tested. You could have a chance that Hadji could play, and Aribo could play back, and Hadji could play up, and then it would be Roof and Morelos. But do you know the trouble is, I don't think Roof's. I think he's a striker that's got to be up the tap and in the box. I think he's a penalty box. He's a finisher. I think when he comes deep, he's even less effective than Alfie. Anyway, we've been joined by somebody who's back from his holidays. How are we doing?
Oh. Is that the Totty?
Yes, it is. It's Alec here. How you doing?
How you doing, pal?
Good evening, boys. Safe journey back. Yeah, how we doing, boys?
All right, no bad, Alec. How are you, pal?
I am fine.
You enjoyed the holiday?
Nah, was I away? I didn't tell you, did I?
No.
Where were you?
You've been ribbing me all week, you buggers. But,
I believe you've been getting a bit of stick online as well. Is this true?
Oh no, I don't believe everything you hear off Andy Felix. He couldn't.
I don't have any correspondence with Andy Felix.
You're worldwide now, pal. You're worldwide now.
Worldwide now, yeah. Anyway, looking forward to the game. Can I give you my team and my rationale for it?
Yes.
I'm going to stick with McLaughlin in goals. And I'm going to stick with the same back 4 that played with Patterson, Bassey, Golson and Balogun.
You're going to play an injured Patterson in Saturday.
Is Patterson confirmed injury, is he? Because Gerrard never mentioned it in his presser.
Don't tell you everything, mate.
All right, well, hopefully he is okay. Firstly, obviously, Tavernier comes in. But my midfield, I would be keeping Lundstrom in there.
Mm-hmm.
I would play Hadji for the start, and I would play Kamara, and I would be Wright, Roof and Morelos up top. And my rationale for that if you hear me out, is I think McGregor's ball distribution is woeful, and it's part of the 50 minutes loss, because he's kicking it straight at the park a lot of times. I also think that Tavernier and Davis actually slowed down our game far too much, and that's been part of the problem where we lack intensity in their play going forward.
I've been a bit harsh on Alan McGregor. He hardly touched the ball against Motherwell.
Well, he kicks it straight at the park most of the time.
Yeah, I touched the ball against Motherwell. Patterson, I don't think he'll play. Lundstrom or Davis, I can see your rationale. Hadji, I don't think he'll play in midfield away from home in the league. If he's going to play, he'll play one further on. And I don't think we'll see Scott Wright starting tomorrow. Albert, and then we'll be joined by Alex Fabershaw. Albert? Oh, he's fell off his seat laughing at you. Bridgman?
He is as well. As I said, I agree with the team that Alex said there. I really do. I think
he's want a wee score on it or something, and that'll be the team tomorrow.
No, don't be silly. Right. I need to go into my wallet then. No. I think I do.
And that's on Bridget, that's on a time log. You're not getting into that till 11 o'clock Monday morning.
By the way, do you know what he done? Do you know what he done today? He phoned me today. He says, any chance you can get me some petrol oxygen?
Send it up, mate.
Courier it up for me.
Oh, terrible. Anyway, back to the team. I think that I don't know if Patterson is injured, but I'm assuming based on it, he's fit. And obviously, if he isn't fit, and I agree with Alex, Tavernier would step right in there. And I would keep the same team that we started with the other night. I really would. I think they're really good. However, to a certain extent, I do agree with Alex that maybe Hadji deserves a start on it.
Again, I can't believe
I don't disagree with that, but
I'm keeping
continuity.
All right. Okay.
I'm beginning to get the thought that Ruth and Morelos can't play together, because I don't see any chemistry between the two of them.
It's I think the two of them. I think they should be playing closer together. I don't think Ruth or the park works personally. Anyway, we've been joined by a really wise man who's going to put all you idiots in your place, because he'll get the team 100% spot on. It's Alex Fabershaw. Evening, Alex.
Good evening, Alex here. Bridgeman, Old Bear, Alex, everybody else that's here in the panel.
Hi, Alex.
How you doing, mate?
What are you doing? What's in your mind, Alex?
I'm just looking forward. I'm going to Dundee tomorrow. I'm confident we'll go up there and get a good result.
Keep away from the Mitchell sisters.
No, you maybe better keep away from me.
No, trust me, keep away from the Mitchell sisters.
You'll know, Alex. You'll know we're there because there's usually a police cordon around them, getting up the parks. You know what I mean? So you'll see them.
Well, as long as you got to enjoy yourself, that's what it's about, isn't it?
That's it, mate.
They're sponsored by Police Scotland, the two of them.
Or their new name is the SNP Militia. So.
Right, what's on your mind, Alex?
I'm just looking forward to the game. That was a good result during the week. That's what it's about, getting to the semi-final back to Hampden. So we can put that at the back now. I look forward to.
Oh, what about the draw? What did you make of the draw? I forgot about the draw earlier on.
I'm quite happy. It was immaterial what one you were going to get. So that's it. No problems at all.
They're all mid-table teams. Aye.
Exactly.
Aye. Albert, thoughts?
To be honest, I wasn't caring what any one of the three will go. I really wasn't bothered. You've got to beat two of them to win it anyway, so it makes no difference to me. You know what I mean? So I wasn't bothering. Honestly, I wasn't bothering who I got.
All right, well said. Alex, what's your team tomorrow, mate?
That's a bit of a dilemma. They're all saying you shouldn't change a winning team. That's how I was brought up.
Old school, mate. Old school.
Come on, give your team. Oh,
back, Tavernier, Goldston, Balogun, and I'll play Bassey.
Right.
Holding midfield. And the reason I'm doing this, I'm thinking of the game on Thursday for Stevie Davis. I'll leave him out and I'll put Lundstrom in there, along with Hadji and Kamara. And up front, I'll have Salaka, Morelos, and Aribo.
You taking Roof and Wright out?
Yep.
What's your rationale there?
I just feel, what do you call it, I've got the football players there to vote Roof or Morelos. I'm not too sure of Roof and Morelos playing together. I'm not too sure of that. So, if Morelos is not up for it, it's no problem bringing Roof on.
Okay. Fashion Sakala getting again, first one to mention him.
I'd play him right there. I'd play him for to run at them.
All right, Alex Kelly.
There's definitely options up front there. I don't mind that at all. What Albert mentioned with a bit of chemistry with Morelos. I mean, Morelos doesn't seem to have chemistry with anybody. He just likes playing up there himself. The only one that he did have chemistry with is with Defoe, and he doesn't seem to be part of things now. So he's just got that wee angry heat on him again. You just hope that he's got his shooting boots on him. But I definitely think that Roof is your best finisher up front now. Any opportunities that's getting made, you want Roof to be in the end of them. So I'm hoping that he starts. But Sakala, he got himself off the mark last week. He put himself about. He's still finding his feet. So it wouldn't really bother me if he started. I just hope we get a good performance, start high intensity again and go at them for the off. Get a couple of goals up and then we can enjoy our afternoon.
Aye. Well, I never thought about Sakala. That's got me thinking now, Alex. That's got me thinking. What's your thoughts on him, mate? Have you liked what you're seeing, or is it just his raw pace you're bringing into the side?
I just think he brings a good bit of energy to the team. And the more minutes the guy gets, I think it could be a wee gem that we've got. And I believe the game against Dundee is going to be tight. We're going to have somebody for to put the balls there for to run on to. And he's got pace in abundance. And I think it could be the wee trick. I may be wrong, by the way, but just how I see it. But we've got plenty of options who to take on and bring off. So they've all got to be up on the map now, every one of them. But it's a selection headache that Stevie Gerrard has got. It's a good headache.
Aye, it's difficult. Albert, I suppose what you're saying is there is a wee bit of competition, but that's kind of be a bad thing, is it?
Oh no, it's not a bad thing. It's the end, but a bad thing. It's actually quite good now. But I agree with Alex about the Ruth being our best finisher. That's a given. That's just a given as far as I'm concerned. The boy is. But there's something no right about the forward line. It's difficult to fit them all in. No, I mean, you're sitting going, well, you've got, to my mind, I don't know how you look at it, but to my mind, we've got, disregarding Defoe, you've got three centre forwards, and you've got Sakala, Morelos, and Defoe. To my mind, that's the three of them play centre forward, but we seem to be trying to fit them all in, and it doesn't work at times. It really doesn't. But the boy, right, to go back to him for the more, I think you're going to find that this boy's going to be an impact player. I think he's going to reduce his time as over 90 minutes to be an impact player, and that's what he is to me at the moment, because he's not showing enough to warrant a starting position and hopefully get 90 minutes at him. He's just no there yet. So if you're going to keep him, if you're going to play him, it's going to be as an impact player. So I think now you've got Ruth, Sakala, Morelos, Kent, Aribo, all fighting for the forward positions now. You know what I mean? So you can shuffle it any way you want. But Morelos to me, the way he's playing at the moment, you're not getting enough out of him. You're just not getting enough out of him. He's no ragdolling defenders anymore. He's no causing eruptions all over the place. He's no scoring enough goals, blah, 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 so it goes on.
Well,
anybody else for that one. Sorry, mate.
Albert, we've reached that time of the evening. Thanks for joining us. The Totty for Lanzarote, we'll call you for the last time since you're back. You're just known as Big Totty now.
The banger for Burn Bank, that'll do me.
That's sausage and mash. Here's Alex, you take it on, good fun. Alex from Wishaw, always great to hear from you, mate.
Great show.
Albert, a pleasure as always.
Cheers, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed the night, mate. Great show again.
Always good to have you on. And it's over to the bridge.
Oh, what can I say? Great night. Once again, Oxford, everybody's right. Fantastic night. Really good conversation and good analysis of the previous game there. I really like talking about it. And we're looking forward to Saturday. Sorry, really looking forward to it. So, one more sleep. See you in the Rangers. Everybody, please keep it going for the Rangers because we really need this. Tomorrow, big game, biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
Rangers.
Yeah. Can I thank all the callers this evening? Thank Bridge and Albert for supporting us on the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. GB and all the boys out there and girls who support over our platforms. This has been Rangers Radio. Me and GB will be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock with a pre-match show building up to the biggest game of the season. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Who's that team they call Rangers? Who's that team they all adore? They're the boys of loyal work around the Scotland town and the hunt to show the world what they can do. Some people say the Almadrid, the biggest football team. I've even heard the Anderlecht, the best they've ever seen. The Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur too. There's Arsenal, Chelsea, Blackburn, just to name the famous few. Who's that team they call Rangers? Who's that team they all adore? They're the boys in loyal work around the Scotland town and the hunt to show the world what they can do. So bring on the hips to have to say bring on the Spaniard by the score. Barcelona, Real Madrid, they will meet the Gallagher. Over to show the world what we can do. Who's that team they call Rangers? Who's that team they all adore? They're the boys in loyal work around the Scotland town and the hunt to show the world what they can do. Here's a help to Glasgow Rangers. Here's a help from me to you. And I hope that every game will immortalise the of the boys who wear the famous royal blue.